Right then, I am going to quiz you a little bit on your resin journey today and hopefully just explore the resin world through you, Jessica, and we'll hopefully enlighten some people on the way and inspire them to maybe take up resin too. So, how long have you been a resin artist for? And kind of what's the little backstory to that? And what's the name of your resin brand?
So my resin brand is called Flow Art by Jessica. And it goes back into when we were in lockdown. Basically, by profession, I'm a pastry chef. So I set up my business where I supply desserts to restaurants. And which was, I started that as my little baby, and, it's been going really well. But then lockdown came and hospitality was closed. So I had a good few months where I wasn't making any desserts. I think it was obvious that I needed that creative medium.
Yeah.
So I found myself looking at all of these YouTube videos. Started off, I think, with acrylic pouring. And I thought, wow, that's cool. I could do that. And then carried on watching, and then I happened to see resin, and I'm like, what the hell is that? Like, what is that liquid? And I was just absolutely instantly sold. I was like, hang on a minute, acrylic can wait. I'm doing resin.
Yes.
And I was just intrigued, like, what is this stuff? So it's liquid, and then you can do whatever with it, and then it hardens. And yeah, I was like, right, I need to give this a go.
Yeah.
And that was that.
Wow. Have you then combined pastry with resin yet and created any like resin croissants or anything? I don't know.
I haven't. No, now you're giving me ideas, but no, I haven't. But funnily enough, how my two businesses have sort of combined is that some of my restaurant clients have seen some of my resin creations, especially trays and cake stands and everything. So they've then wanted me to make them custom ones with their logo, with their branding, etc. So that's brilliant as well. So yeah.
I love that. And do you still do some of the pastry chefing as well, or have you literally
Yeah.
gone straight to resin and that's it now?
No, I'm literally doing both. Some days it gets a bit mad because with my pastry business that is set. So I have a regular set of clients, and they come for their orders on a regular basis. So I kind of can predict when I'm going to have to make, I don't know, 200 or 300 of something. So I know that I'm kind of in the rhythm of that. But when you have that, and then when you have a resin order, and you can't rush art, you need time. You need to be able to conceptualize it. You need to be able to then sort of have your thoughts clear about it, especially if it's a commission piece.
Yeah.
So yes, I always tell people, like, I need time. So I don't want to, because I enjoy it. I don't want to have to rush it.
Yeah.
So it's literally both of them at the moment.
I love that. Do you know what? That's actually a really good point because I mean, resin takes a while anyway, doesn't it, to cure and to get perfect anyway. But actually, giving yourself time for the creative side of it and the creative flair to come out as well, and actually just opening up to your customers beforehand to say, this is going to take time, and just being open with them actually alleviates any issues with that. Everyone knows where they stand, and you then get to create the most incredible works of art because you've got that time to and love to put into it.
Absolutely. And I think with resin, you somehow do have to factor in that there might be a case where you have to add in another layer that you didn't plan you would, or, make some changes along the way. Maybe you share halfway along with the client, and the client says, well, actually, can I have a little bit more of this color? Or can we change it to this? So always, have yourself enough time. You don't want to rush it. It's just going to stress you out. So
yeah, definitely. I can just imagine with the pastry right now. I'm seeing you kind of mad, covered in flour, like rushing back to your studio then to get covered in resin, and like, wow.
You won't believe I literally have 200 pieces of cheesecakes going out this evening. So once we're done with this live, I'm going to be packing all of those So yeah, no
Oh,
recipe today, but we can talk about
gosh.
recipe, which I love.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And all those cheesecake guys are coming to me because I love cheesecake. So that's brilliant.
Which
I'll be eating 200 tonight. I love that. That's so cool. I love hearing about how people got involved with resin, what they do alongside it, because again, it's creative endeavors and creative businesses. You can have more than one. You can do more than one thing. You can be multi-entrepreneurial now and have lots of different passions and things that you love, and you can do it all. You can do it all and work together on it.
and I think a lot of the times when you first start with resin, you don't necessarily think you're going to make a business out of it. It's only when you start to get better, and perhaps so how I started with, I literally did a few pieces and then felt confident. Obviously, I had the encouragement from family and friends. Listed a few things on Etsy, and when you make that sale, that's when you're like, wow, other people are actually paying for this. And
Yeah.
I could do so much better. And that's when, you realize you get that confidence that actually I can make this productive. I can really make this into a business.
Yeah.
And, I get a lot of artists that are just starting up on Instagram and they're like, well, how do I, like, do you think I'm ready to list my stuff for sale? And, so I think it's just getting that confidence. One sale is all it takes.
Yeah, yeah, because you never have the confidence before anything, but once you do get that sale, it sparks that thought process, doesn't it? Of I could do that. Wow.
Absolutely.
And you just never know where that's going to lead. I absolutely love that. So, do you have kind of one resin style that you love to create, or one type of project that you like to create, or do you like to create lots of different things?
So I think once I did think that I was going to do this more seriously, I suppose. I did think about this a lot. I did think, well, actually, when I look around and I look at a lot of artists that I admire, they have a particular style. And I'd be like, what's yours, Jess? Like, what is yours? Like, you need to come up with a style. And then soon after I realized, well, actually, I don't have to. Like, I can continue exploring. I can do what I like. I'm still trying different things. And I think with me, I go through like phases. So, I'm going to be doing geodes for like a phase, and then I'm going to be doing abstracts, and then it's like functional art. So I just do whatever. And I want to say this to everybody out there. Don't be pressured by feeling like you have to have a style. You could pick a style and, say if it's ocean work. You could be brilliant at it and that could be your main thing, but just don't feel pressured by the fact that you do have to do something specific. You could
Yeah.
continue to explore.
Yeah, yeah. It's a creative endeavor, isn't it? And
Absolutely.
and if you've got that creativity inside of you and you have unlocked it in some ways, it's very hard actually probably to just go one way. Even if you do maybe on your Instagram grid, there'll probably be so much behind the scenes that you're just not sharing because it doesn't fit in with the grid, but you're creating it and you're making it because
Yeah,
it's just fun, isn't it?
absolutely.
I love that. And that's what I think I love about resin art and the artists that put their work out there, because it is fun, because it is a passion for them. Like it really shines through in your work. Like when you see your work and your end results, like the knowing the passion and the love that's gone into that creation, it makes it really, really special. It really does. So yes, love that. So what's the best thing then, do you think, is about working with resin?
I think I think the reason I was drawn to it in the first place was the movement of resin, like the fact that it's fluid. I just like the fact that it's fluid and it moves and it does its own thing. I think I find that quite sort of meditative in a way. I mean, I could not sit with a paintbrush and create anything. Honestly, I'd be absolutely rubbish. But yeah, I think that's what I love about resin. I love the fact that it still surprises you. I love the fact that I'm still, after creating so many things, I'm still as excited as I would be in my initial days to come up in the morning and unmold something because I want to see what it's done. So I think that's what I love about resin. I love that it's fluid and, you know, how it has a mind of its own, and people might say that's a bad thing. But I love it.
Yeah, yeah. Just understand that it's got a mind of its own. You won't create
Yeah.
anything specific in the exact pattern that you want. But once you know that and you just let go of the control of that, and again have fun with it, it's like,
And
what's gonna happen?
amazing to know that I actually can't make another thing exactly like that. I mean, I find that pretty amazing actually, because you know, you can't replicate anything to the T with resin, which I think is brilliant.
Yeah. And what a selling point to have over, say you're creating homewares or, you know, art to be displayed in people's homes and things. Like, it's a really good selling point to have that it will be bespoke to them, to their home. It can be created in the colors that they want, styled for them, to them, to match with their home. But also nobody else is going to have that exact same thing. Like, that is incredible nowadays, because so much is mass produced and just, you know, churned out, isn't it? But not resin art. So, so
Even
exciting.
for gifts, and you know, if you want to give something to somebody, and it's, you know, you can have it custom made, and I mean, and the possibilities with resin are endless. Like I am still like, what, like, you know, from like art to functional art to, I don't know, countertops and tables and wall panels. I mean, like, yeah, that you can do so many things, and I guess you're always going to be learning. I think once you're at a certain stage where you get comfortable with it, you want things to get bigger. Like, you just want to be doing bigger pours, and you just want to, like, the bigger the better. And yeah, so it gives you a rush to know that, wow, you know, you've actually done such a big massive piece in resin and you've created it. So yeah, I think I love the fact that you can do so many things with it.
Yeah, definitely. Really express yourself with it. So, okay, then on the flip side of that, because we've got to be even,
Yeah,
what's the worst thing about working with resin?
I think it's funnily enough, I think it's the same thing, that it has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
I think you have to. I think you have to get to know it to a point where you, I wouldn't say predict, but you worry less about the outcome, and it's the process. And on occasion, when you do screw up, or I wouldn't say mess up, but I would probably say where the outcome is not how you pictured it to be, you know that you can go and fix it. You could do another layer. More often than not, you will be able to sort of fix it, or to get it to a position where you can sort of be happy with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the flip side is the fact that there are a lot of unpredictabilities. You just have to sort of embrace them.
Yeah, definitely. It is such a good point and a bad point. It can be so beautiful at times, and like you say, just letting your creativity flow, and what will be, and you make the most bespoke, beautiful thing. And then on the other side, it's the frustration, because you're like, no, I thought
Yeah.
you were going to go that way, and the colours have gone that way, and it's set whatever, and this is not what my customer wanted, and oh gosh. But I think sometimes as well, when it doesn't go quite right, actually from that you could be still surprised when it's cured and it's done, and actually you could have been happier with it how it turns out then. So it's a complete mind
Absolutely.
mess.
You could get a lot of happy accidents. You're doing something and then you come back and it's done something else. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know it would have this effect. And that's fun. And the next time you're trying to consciously do it. So yeah, I think there's two sides of it. But yeah, you just have to sort of get comfortable with it. It doesn't take a lot. I think the first time when I mixed resin, and I did find it kind of like a strange consistency. It looks different when you're seeing it on a video. It's different when you're trying to cover a canvas with it. So, but yeah, it just takes getting used to, and yeah, that's it. And I feel like a lot of us initially feel pressure with the time factor, and it's going to set up on you. And is my room temperature okay? All of that comes with it. But just as you keep doing it, you will sort of be able to sort of be lost in the moment and still create something beautiful.
Absolutely. I actually wrote down then happy accident because I like that, actually, that phrase. I think there's some stuff we could potentially do in the group, sharing their happy accidents. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, so I'm feeling that one. I'm going to add a hashtag to it. It's going to be fabulous. I'll show you them all. So what's on the horizon then for you next, Jess? So your brand, what exciting things have you got coming up?
So I have been doing lately a lot of tray sets. So I've had sort of a regular flow of orders for custom tray sets and more functional art, more tableware, which is brilliant. But the one that I'm really excited about, kind of nervous, is a big dining table project. It's massive. It's sorry, my phone's it's massive. It's about 6.5 feet. Yeah, so I'm really nervous about that one. Super excited at the same time. We'll see how that goes.
Wow. And actually, Jessica's really good at tagging us in everything as well, guys. So you keep your eye out. When you see her name pop up, it might be that project on there as well. So keep your eyes open for that, because I'm excited to see that. I can't wait to see that. And I hope it goes really well. And I hope it's amazing or the best happy accident ever.
Thank you. I would like no surprises with this one, but hey.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. At least you're mentally prepared. There might be.
Yeah, no. And I think I do also like to share not only my fabulous creations, but I do like to share on my Instagram everything that's gone wrong, because I strongly, strongly believe to try and keep it real, because there's so many artists that are following you that probably thinking about starting resin, probably really new at it, and they need to see that you do make mistakes, you do fail, this happens, it's normal, everybody goes through it. So so even if it's a disaster, you will see it.
Yeah, there's quite a few resin artists that share that as well, actually, and every time it makes me absolutely howl with laughter, because you also create it in probably like really funny reels and stuff as well, so it's bringing humor to it. And like you say, people need to see it's not always perfect, and they'll learn more then by your mistakes, and everyone gets better by just sharing the ups and the downs and the highs and the lows and the happy accidents and the fabulous accidents and the non-accidents. And it's all a learning curve. So absolutely, like, share. I think Instagram's going more that way now. Before it was perfection and you could only show perfection, and now it's like, oh, there's real humans behind this, which is good.
Yeah, I think we kind of need to stop worrying about, well, each of their own, but I feel that stop worrying about how your grid looks, and just be you. Sometimes you could be having fun, sometimes it might be a nightmare, and you don't know what to do. Just be you.
Yeah, absolutely. And resin's so beautiful anyway. Like, you don't actually have to think that much about what you're posting on your grid as a resin artist as such, because it's that beautiful what you're creating anyway. Like, it looks amazing on an Instagram feed, in whatever order, in whatever like way, in with showing yourself in there as well. And I actually quite like I think I've said it before on a live or some training or something about people buying from people. People buy from people. So if I go to an Instagram and I can't actually see who is behind the brand or who's selling something, it puts me off reaching out to them. It puts me off reaching out to ask for prices, reaching out to ask for where they're based, can you ship to me, or anything like that, because I don't know who I'm talking to. There maybe isn't a name, or I don't know who I'm talking to. So actually showing a bit of yourself and your realness as well is going to help your sales come through as a resin artist as well eventually. So
absolutely. It does happen when you get an inquiry through Instagram of one of your followers. There's already that comfort level. It's almost like you already know each other, and you can, it really helps. It does help.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, then. So to end, I've really loved this, actually. Really nice speaking to you. But to end, what is one piece of advice that you would like to give anyone starting out on their resin journeys?
Could I have more than one?
You can have as many
I
as you want.
don't want to sound very wise, but I do want to point out a few things that I wish somebody had told me. But I guess the first thing has to be don't be put off with not having a studio, not having a proper setup, not having a workspace. I actually don't have one. I work from my dining table. Sadly, we don't have a dining table anymore because that's my studio. And I've done small to large to extremely large, all of it here. Would I like a studio? Yes, but that doesn't stop me from pouring resin. So don't be put off by that. Just go for it.
Yeah.
Second thing would be, which is actually something that I've noticed from people that ask me questions on Instagram is I find a lot of times artists that are just starting to work with resin will attempt something over ambitious and then fail, and then obviously have second guesses about if they can do this. So I always say start small. There's many reasons for that. One, resin isn't the most economical. Well, I wouldn't say it's not the most inexpensive medium.
Yeah.
You don't want to be wasting it. You want to be using it, but try working with something small, rather than going big and all out and something super ambitious. That'll give you more confidence, and then you can always scale up.
Yeah.
And I think the last thing would be prep. A lot of the times prep is really important for something. Priming the board, making sure it's ready for resin, taping it, or whatever that you need to do, really helps. And you might not think, but it does show the quality of the finished product. Like you can see that you've really taken the time to prep it before you get resin on. So I think that would be my final words of wisdom.
They are absolute golden nuggets of information there. And oh, so, so true to all of it. It makes me very nervous when I speak to somebody very new via a message on our customer service platform who wants to achieve, I don't know, a whole kitchen of resin, and they've not even picked up a 500 ml kit before I tried it. And I'm like, please try something smaller first.
Yeah,
Not
sample board. Just do a sample before you go out. And even I still do that. Like if there's a big piece, like for the dining table, I will probably be doing like a small sample board just so me and the client can agree on colors and patterns, and it's doing what I want it to do. So when I'm doing it proper size, I go in more confident. I know what to sort of do. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, there we go, everybody. Take Jessica's advice there. She is an expert resin artist, and she still does testers and samples. You absolutely are. If anybody wants to find out and have a little look at Jessica's work, I would highly, highly recommend going to visit her Instagram feed, which I will pop alongside this video at the end. Yes, by Jessica. It is amazing. So much resin inspiration on there, and just really fun videos as well. And like she said before, ups and downs. So she shares everything with you all. So absolutely genius and brilliant. So I'll pop all that information next to this, so you can catch up on IGTV. You can get all the information for where to find Jessica as well. And if you've ever got any questions for craft resin or resin artists that you see out there, just pop each other a message, because everyone's so approachable in the resin world, and actually everyone just wants to help everyone get on, or at least point you in the right direction of where to get the information that will help you as well. So don't be too shy to reach out to any of us, because that's what we're here for.
And I think I want to mention that Kaz is extremely approachable. We've spoken so many times. It's so nice to actually do this now. But she is extremely approachable. And craft resin as a brand, I mean, I've used many resin brands before, but it's like a community. It's like, there's such a load of information there for the problems that actually you would face when working with resin. So it's not like, here, we make resin, this is where you can buy it. There's so much more, and I feel like there's blogs going out, there's videos, there's tutorials. So I love the fact that it's a one-stop place almost.
Yeah, and all of the artists that use our resin as well, then I find that maybe because we put stuff out, that they put stuff out as well, like yourself. Like you'll learn so much from watching people like Jessica out there as well, who also share and put stuff out there and how-tos and stuff like that. So yeah, absolutely. We don't want anyone to have a bad experience with it. You know what I mean? We actually want resin addicts. We want people to enjoy it and
I
to
think
unleash
once
their
you start
creativity.
it, there's no
Yeah,
going back. There is no going back.
yeah,
You want to
yeah,
be sure of that because you're giving them all the information off the pitfalls, what to expect, you know. So yeah,
yeah. Give it a go, guys. Give it a go. If I can create with it, anyone can. And Jessica, you could be as good or on par with Jessica in a few years' time. So have a little look. But have a little look at all the information that we shared next to this. And thank you so much, Jessica, for joining
thanks,
us. It's a real pleasure.
I really enjoyed talking to you, and hope this was helpful to somebody out there. And yeah, lovely talking to you.
Thank
And
you so
I love
much.
working with craft resin.
Oh, we don't pay the artists to say that, I promise you. We've got in their arms. I'm going to come down to London for a pastry, actually.
Come on over.
Yay! I will get down there eventually.
You should actually do that thing that you were talking about artists getting together and doing, like maybe creating together or something. How fun would that be?
That would be really fun, wouldn't it? Especially after these last few years where we've all been, shut off in different rooms or workshops or in your office. So yeah, getting together would be absolutely amazing. So we'll get the resin, you do the pastries, we'll all create together and eat and just have the best time.
Sounds like a plan.
Awesome, done. Thank you everyone for joining us. I hope you have amazing weekends and enjoy the rest of your Fridays, guys.
Have a good weekend. Bye, Kaz.
Bye, just see ya.
See ya.